Hey guys, Jim here with Type 1 Diabetic Warriors. Today we're going to inform you about a new company that is new to this channel. It's called Seraxis, and their drug is called SR2. First things first, a shout out to one of our viewers, one of our subscribers, Nick, California, who was good enough to bring this to our attention. So we did a few days of research and felt that this is a good story to tell to you anyway, and that's what we're going to do. So if you would hit the like and subscribe button, that helps us to get the word out to people all around the globe, and we appreciate your help every day. So let's get down to it and find out what this Seraxis and this new drug SR2 is all about.
Seraxis receives FDA IND approval to start clinical trials for SR2 therapy. Seraxis' recent FDA investigational new drug, IND, allowance for its SR2 therapy is a significant milestone in advancing treatments for type 1 diabetes. SR2 is an experimental therapy developed to replace pancreatic islets, which produce insulin. It offers a potential pathway to control blood glucose levels in patients who lack these islets due to type 1 diabetes. This approach aims to restore natural insulin production without requiring lifelong insulin injections or reliance on immunosuppression, often necessary with islet transplants. The IND allowance means that Seraxis can begin clinical trials to assess the safety and efficacy of SR2 in human patients. In preclinical studies, SR2 showed promising results in terms of insulin production and glucose regulation. The clinical trials will be crucial to determine if these benefits translate to human subjects and whether SR2 could become a viable therapeutic option for managing or even reversing the effects of type 1 diabetes. This development adds to the growing body of innovative diabetes research, where companies are exploring cell-based therapies, encapsulation methods to avoid immune rejection, and regenerative approaches to replace or protect pancreatic function. If SR2 succeeds in clinical trials, it could offer a transformative solution for millions with type 1 diabetes. Seraxis' SR2 therapy uses lab-grown replacement pancreatic islet cells to restore insulin production in people with type 1 diabetes. Here's how it works in detail. Lab-grown islets. SR2 uses islet cells derived from proprietary, lab-grown cell lines designed to function like the insulin-producing cells naturally found in the pancreas. Seraxis grows these cells in a way that replicates the function of natural islets, allowing them to respond to blood glucose levels and release insulin accordingly. Encapsulation and transplantation. These lab-grown islets are encapsulated within a device or protective layer that's designed to shield them from the body's immune system. This is crucial because, in type 1 diabetes, the immune system attacks the body's islet cells. The encapsulation barrier prevents immune cells from destroying the transplanted islets, reducing or potentially eliminating the need for immunosuppressive drugs. Implantation and functionality. Once implanted into the body, the encapsulated SR2 islets detect and respond to changes in blood glucose levels, releasing insulin as needed. This mimics the normal physiological process, potentially allowing for better glucose control without the need for external insulin injections. Long-term insulin production. The hope is that these replacement islets can function over the long term, continuously sensing blood glucose levels and secreting insulin. If successful, SR2 could reduce or eliminate the need for daily insulin injections, offering a more natural, continuous form of blood sugar regulation. The path from FDA investigational new drug, IND, allowance to market approval for a therapy like SR2 generally takes several years, largely due to the rigorous clinical trial process. Here's a likely timeline for SR2. Phase 1 trials, 1 to 2 years. Initially, Seraxis will conduct Phase 1 trials to evaluate SR2's safety in a small group of participants. These trials are typically short, lasting about a year or two, and focus on assessing any immediate safety risks, potential side effects, and tolerability. Phase 2 trials, 2 to 3 years. If Phase 1 shows positive results, the company will move to Phase 2 trials to further test the therapy's safety and assess its efficacy in a larger group. These trials take longer as they involve more participants and detailed measurements of SR2's impact on blood glucose levels, insulin independence, and other clinical outcomes. Phase 3 trials, 3 to 5 years. After successful Phase 2 results, Phase 3 trials would be needed to confirm SRO2's efficacy and safety in an even larger and more diverse patient population. This phase takes several years to complete and is required to receive FDA approval before marketing the product commercially. FDA review and approval, 1 to 2 years. If the Phase 3 trials are successful, Seraxis will submit a Biologics License Application, BLA, to the FDA. The review process can take 1 to 2 years, during which the FDA will evaluate the trial data and decide on approval. In total, it may take approximately 8 to 12 years from IND allowance before SR2 could potentially be available on the market. This timeline could be shorter if the therapy shows exceptional efficacy and safety early on, allowing for potential accelerated pathways. This is rare for a new and complex cell-based islet replacement. This channel will eagerly await news of the clinical trial results as they get underway.
That is the story of Seraxis. Again, thanks to Mick, California, for bringing that to our attention. Again, this is becoming a recurring theme. Everybody in the industry who is focused on a cure for type 1 diabetes understands that this is going to be done by protecting, one way or another, protecting the beta cells when they are transplanted. We have followed all kinds of different companies who have different ideas, different procedures on how to do this. This is just one more variation of a theme that we've been covering since we started this channel. Now, I hope we did get into how long these things take. Don't let that depress you. It could take 8 to 12 years, but here's the important point. This is just one more company who is joining the race, so to speak, and there are many who have had similar type technologies that they've been working on to protect the beta cell during the transplant, the islet cell. And they have a head start of 6 years. So don't despair. Just let's look at the upside here. And sooner or later, one of these companies is going to hit the jackpot. The jackpot for them financially, and the jackpot for all of us for a cure for type 1 diabetes that we've been waiting on for quite a while. I have anyway. I hope you found this inspiring. We have some more interesting topics that we're going to be producing and sharing with you, a couple this week. And as always, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. And we look forward to talking to you again here on Type 1 Diabetic Warriors. Have a great day.